There's roughly $2 trillion of dirty money moving through the world's banks every single year, and almost all of it comes out the other side looking completely clean. Drug money, bribes, stolen funds, scam payouts. And here's the part nobody thinks about. Making the money was never the hard part. Spending it is. You can't buy a house with a duffel bag of cash. You can't wire a suspicious pile of money anywhere without a bank asking exactly where it came from. A fortune you can't explain isn't a fortune, it's evidence. So the criminal's real job starts after the crime, turning money that screams illegal into a number on a screen that nobody ever questions. Stay with me, because I'm going to draw the actual machine that does it. The same three stages, whether it's a street dealer or a global bank. And the single weak point where the whole thing almost always breaks. Once you see it, you'll finally understand why your own bank treats you the way it does. Every laundering operation on earth runs the same three-stage machine: placement, layering, integration. Dirty cash goes in one end, clean money comes out the other. Let me build it, one stage at a time. Stage 1, placement. This is the job of getting physical cash into the banking system in the first place. And it's the hardest, most dangerous step of all, because cash is loud. Walk into a bank and try to deposit $50,000 in a bag, and the bank is required by law to file a report. In most countries, anything over $10,000 automatically gets flagged, so they never deposit $50,000 at once. They break it into dozens of tiny deposits, each one just under the limit, spread across many accounts and many people on many different days. That has a name: structuring, or on the street, smurfing. The other classic move is to push the cash through a business that's supposed to handle a lot of cash anyway. A car wash, a nail salon, a restaurant, a casino. Buy a pile of chips with dirty cash, play a few harmless hands, cash out, and ask for a check. And now your money looks like gambling winnings. The dirty cash walks in the front door, disguised as customers who were never there, mixed into the real takings until the two can't be told apart. On paper, the little laundromat just had its best month ever. That is not a coincidence. That is literally where the word laundering comes from. Stage 2, layering. Now the money's inside the system, but it's still radioactive. There's a short, straight line connecting that bank balance back to the crime. The entire job of layering is to erase that line. So the money starts to move and move and move. From the restaurant's account into a shell company, a business that exists only on paper, with a name, a bank account, and nothing else. From that shell into another shell, in another country with friendlier secrecy laws. Buy something expensive, a property, a luxury car, a stake in a company, then turn around and sell it. Convert it to crypto, bounce it across a dozen wallets, convert it back. There's even a trick called trade-based laundering. Your company buys a shipment from its own foreign partner and wildly overpays. 1,000 cheap plastic pens, invoiced at $1 million. And just like that, dirty money has crossed a border disguised as honest trade. Every single move is pointless on purpose. The money isn't trying to grow here, it's trying to get lost. Each transaction is another wall, another border, another name stacked between the cash and where it really came from, until the trail is so long and so tangled that no investigator has the time or the reach to follow it all the way back. Stage 3, integration. This is the payoff. The money comes back, and it comes back clean, with a story the owner can say out loud and a paper trail to back it up. The favorite trick is the loan. The criminal lends himself the money through one of his own shell companies. So now he's holding clean cash and a loan he can even write off on his taxes. Or the overpriced sale. Buy a painting for $5,000, then sell it to your own offshore company for $500,000. On paper, you're just a lucky art dealer. Or simply feed the money into a real working business and let it surface as ordinary profit. By the end of stage 3, there's a number in a bank account, a deed with a real name on it, a tax return that all checks out, and not one thing that screams crime. The dirty money has been handed a clean birth certificate. So let's run a single $1 million of dirty cash through the whole machine. Placement. It trickles in a few thousand at a time through a chain of cash-heavy businesses, never tripping a single report. Layering, it bounces through 6 shell companies across 3 countries, buys an apartment, sells the apartment. Integration, it lands back home as the profit from that property deal, taxes paid, perfectly explainable. Same $1 million. It walked in as evidence and walked out as income. Now step back and look at the whole machine at once, because here's what it actually is. And almost nobody sees this. Laundering is not about hiding the money. The money is right there, in plain sight, in real accounts with real names. It's about manufacturing one single thing: distance. Distance between the dollar and its origin. Placement, layering, integration. 3 machines whose only real product is distance. The further the money travels from the crime, the cleaner it looks, until the connection is technically still there, but practically impossible to prove. That is the entire trick. But every machine has a weak point, and this one's weak point is the very first step. Think about it. Layering and integration are just numbers sliding between accounts. Slippery, borderless, a nightmare to trace. But placement is physical. It's the one moment where a pile of paper cash has to become a digital number, and that moment cannot be done silently. That's why almost everyone who gets caught right there, at the door. And it's why the entire global anti-money laundering system points at that single step, the $10,000 reporting rule. The Know Your Customer forms you fill out to open an account, the software that flags a deposit that doesn't fit your pattern. Investigators don't try to untangle the layering maze. It's too complex by design. They guard the front door because that's the only place the machine is weak. And this is the part that lands on you. This is why your completely honest bank account sometimes gets treated like a crime scene. Why depositing a normal lump of cash suddenly triggers a form and a few questions. Why your bank wants to know where money came from before they'll let it in. And why, this one catches people off guard, moving just under $10,000 can look more suspicious than moving 30, because trying to dodge the report is itself the red flag they're trained to spot. You were never the target, but you're standing at the exact same front door the launderers use. And at the door, the system can't tell the difference, so it quietly suspects everyone. And here's the trap most people fall into, assuming this is rare, exotic, cartels and suitcases stuff. It isn't. The biggest laundering cases on record aren't shady men with bags of cash. They're some of the most respected banks in the world, fined billions of dollars for waving the money through. Because the machine doesn't actually need a criminal genius. It just needs a door left open and enough distance to hide behind. When a bank decides not to look too closely, it becomes the most powerful laundering tool ever built. So there's the whole machine. Dirty cash in, 3 stages of pure distance, placement, layering, integration, clean money out, and one fragile front door holding all of it together. None of this is here to make you paranoid, and it is definitely not a how-to. It's here so you can see the plumbing running under the floor of the entire financial system. Because once you can see the machine, you stop being fooled by it, and you start to understand the rules that quietly govern your own money. Next, we'll follow where a lot of that freshly cleaned money likes to disappear, how the richest people on earth legally pay almost nothing in tax. See the machine. Don't be the fuel.